Welcome back YouTubers to another fantastic video from the British Fist Evolution, and sitting right here we have NJ. What's up? And over here Mark Crichton.
How's it going?
And in this video we're going to be talking about the future monstrous babyface Roman Reigns.
We're going to talk about Roman Reigns, his build, how he becomes the new Triple H, it would seem.
Yes, Triple H. And we're going to start with the epicness that he was allowed to do on Raw, which lasted more than a few words, which was his promo.
Yeah, he started off this week's Raw. This week's Raw started differently. It's nice to see Roman Reigns getting involved on his own, to be perfectly honest. It was nice to see him talking on the mic unaided. It was a different start to Raw this week. I wasn't necessarily expecting him to talk as long as he did. I certainly wasn't expecting him to be interrupted by who he was interrupted by.
And the thing about it is that when he got to speak on the mic, he did exactly what was needed. He spoke about his participants going into the battleground later down the line. He spoke about how he's overpowering his opponents. It made him look confident, strong, and like he is the guy to go forward to become champion.
He is a future main eventer, whichever way you look at it. He has the look, the build, and the charisma of a future main eventer. I've questioned his mic skills on occasion. I think he's done okay this week. I think that, you know, their hashtag was Raw is Roman, or Roman is Raw, or whatever you want to call it. And it was, because at the end of the day, the beginning and the end of the show he was heavily featured and was booked very well. Not too sure about the end, battle of the, baby faces, or what you want to say.
Well, I think for a while now, Roman Reigns has been getting spotlighted as the guy. He's always overcame the odds, not as bad as John Cena, but he's taken down the monster Kane, which he put down in the opener. He's put down John Cena to prove that he's the new guy over John Cena. He's put down Randy Orton. So the WWE are doing a good job at spotlighting Reigns as a singles future guy.
Yeah, well, they spotlight him in one aspect, is his actual, in-ring work. The Superman punch, the spear. These are, babyface moves, if you like, but they're also arguably signature moves that are really developing his in-ring character on his push to be a real main event player.
And even though we're complimenting Roman Reigns' babyface powerful moves, don't try this at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
As the WWE keep telling us, but I think he should continue, because I think we could talk about his moves, we could talk about his progression, but I think it comes to his opponents. It's his opponents that's going to make him go forward in a successful way. Like the way he teased a feud with Kane. I enjoyed him putting Monster Kane down, even though you bring the Monster Kane down to do really nothing. I think it's a steady build.
Yeah, the big red bitch. That's what Kane seems to have been reduced to lately. Not that I'm saying I am not a Kane fan, which I am. But what I will say is lately, obviously, he has been doing a lot of jobs, so he should be probably. Roman Reigns, though, which is one question I ask myself, Roman Reigns hasn't really, since the Shield disbanded, had a feud as such. He's been spotlighted against stars. He's had a little bit of, a one-to-one feud with Stephanie and Triple H, getting himself the shot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. But he hasn't actually had a feud, so building through Battleground to start with and in towards SummerSlam, it looks like the route's either going to be Kane or Orton.
And that's the thing. The thing I like about the WWE, you say he's had no feuds, but since late Shield, he's been consistent involved with Evolution, The Authority, Triple H. I think following Battleground, which our prediction is he's going to look good but lose, possibly use either Orton or Kane, who's in that match, to give him a build-up feud towards SummerSlam. But either Orton or Kane will be two filler opponents who could still give Reigns his push towards SummerSlam.
It will be interesting to see, from my perspective, whether or not he will face Triple H at SummerSlam. That would be a big draw and a match. If we're looking on the perspective that Cena's going to go down the route with Lesnar for the World Heavyweight Championship, then that would effectively leave the other people that are in that Battleground main event, which is Roman Reigns, Kane and Orton. You either go down the route that Reigns is going to feud with either Kane or Orton through Battleground into SummerSlam and beyond, and we see a Triple H Reigns feud after SummerSlam, or they actually build to that pay-per-view. But it would seem, by the way Raw went this week, that it's certainly going to be, I would think, Kane more so than Orton.
I wouldn't mind seeing, with the way that Kane's getting spoken down to by Orton, the way he's getting spoken down by Roman Reigns, if we happen to get a triple threat at SummerSlam. But the downfall to that is the WWE want the biggest matches possible at SummerSlam. Going against Kane, sadly, is not really the biggest match Reigns could be in. It's seen as a filler match, which you don't really want Reigns in a filler match at SummerSlam. Orton is a big match, but not as big as Triple H. And that leads to the big possibility of it being Triple H while Kane and Orton get Reigns on the build-up.
Yeah, I mean, there is the build-up that we need to look into. But what I will say is, if he does face Triple H at SummerSlam, Triple H, I think, should go over on that one. I think it's too early, and I mentioned in an earlier video that I think the chase for the title for Reigns is far more entertaining than when he actually does win the strap.
And that's the thing, because even though I don't mind who wins at SummerSlam, Reigns, the guy going forward, or Triple H, the guy who's not won a pay-per-view for the last few months. But at the end of the day, I want the feud between Triple H and Roman Reigns to continue after SummerSlam.
And so do I. I think, to be honest, that could go all the way down for the rest of the year, actually, if they build that feud correctly. I think it all depends more than anything, and I still harp on about this. When Daniel Bryan's coming back, number one. When will John Cena, if and when John Cena relinquishes the title, which is likely to be SummerSlam to Lesnar, number two. And also, how many times Triple H is going to want to get involved in the ring? Because at the minute, I get the vibe that he wants to go down the authority route as opposed to the wrestler route from now on.
Well, I do feel that we have other wrestlers coming back, like you said, Daniel Bryan, possibly Batista. We've got the championship run that he's currently in. There are some boundaries to rush to this Triple H feud or Triple H match. SummerSlam obviously would be the biggest pay-per-view to have this match. Yes, Triple H would have to win, in my opinion, so Triple H is not seen as the guy who's continuing to lose. He'll still put Reigns over, but at a later pay-per-view. But I also feel if they somehow change their teasing of Reigns and Triple H at SummerSlam, I think Triple H has teased that he possibly wants it to be a WrestleMania match.
And that's the other option in this. If they went through the angle of the build up to Battleground having a feud with Kane, and then from Battleground to SummerSlam having a feud with Orton, if they allowed Reigns to get that big 4 pay-per-view win over Orton, that would do him the world of good. He could then push on really to the feud with Triple H, which could culminate in a WrestleMania match.
Well, somehow I do want to keep the Authority / Evolution and Reigns feud going, because we have the big pay-per-views like the Survivor Series, Hell in a Cell. So I think keeping those matches open for the Authority and Evolution feud to continue would be a strong commitment going forward.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
And yes, we saw the possible breakup of Shield or Evolution. I hope it's just to tease the Fatal 4-Way at Battleground more than disbanding them all and rushing to getting this feud done over with.
And I agree as well. I don't think it should be. I think that at some point, whichever way you look at it, yes, Batista has quit, as it were, but at some point he will be back, and I think it probably will be back end of this year. How the crowd will react to him will probably be in the same Batista fashion as it was on his last return. It's just where he sits, where Batista sits here, because, I mean, they could easily, if you look at it from another angle, they could easily put him in a program with Reigns.
With the option B secretly being still used in the WWE, I still feel that maybe he's secretly still in Evolution, still in the Authority, to build up towards Survivor Series as another Authority figure. But obviously Batista at the moment is not playing a role in it right now.
No, he isn't. And so you can only work with what you've got, and what we've got at Battleground to start with is the Fatal 4-Way. I believe that John Cena will go over on that. Reigns will look strong and will come out of it looking strong, as far as I think both of us are concerned. And then on the way to SummerSlam, that's going to be interesting, and that's what we've got to look at to see whether or not it will be Reigns versus Kane / Orton, or if he does get to Triple H.
And this is where we would like you all to come in. There's a big comment section below where we would like you to leave your thoughts, where we'll both read and reply to your comments. And from me, NJ, and Mark Crichton right here,
Hello.
You'll be able to follow him on Twitter at
Marky Barber,
and me, NJ, and the links will be in the description box below. Thank you very much for watching, and please tune in for what we have yet to bring.